Sisters and brothers, we continue to talk about prayer. Last time we spoke about the 5 forms of prayer. We talked about all prayer being Trinitarian. Today, we're talking about 3 ways of praying, both vocal and meditative, and then contemplative. Words sometimes that we get confused are meditation and contemplation, so I'll explain that along the way. All 3 are ways to deepen our relationship with God. In vocal prayer, it's exactly what it sounds like. We give voice to our prayer. We speak to God. And so sometimes that's in the form of spoken prayer that are rote prayers, prayers that we've memorized. Sometimes it's an extemporaneous prayer in which we talk to God about something going on in our lives or our relationship with God. A great example of that prayer is the 17th chapter of the Gospel of John. Jesus is at the Last Supper and he has this extended long prayer. And part of that prayer is that we all may be one. He is saying to the Father, may they all be one. May their joy be complete. He is speaking to God about his love for the apostles and through the apostles for each of us. One of the elements of vocal prayer, and all prayer quite frankly, is we're embodied human beings. We're spirit and body. And so our prayer isn't just our voice or what's happening in our mind and our hearts, it's also our gestures. So folded hands, raised hands, kneeling are all ways of expressing our prayerfulness. And even sitting with our hands open on our laps is a posture that can be used for prayer. Now the next form of prayer, meditation, is much more of a using of our reason in prayer. We speak of it in sort of fancy language as discursive prayer. It's where we're reasoning through something. Perhaps it's a Bible text that we're reflecting on. The story of Martha and Mary, one sitting at the feet of Jesus, the other in the kitchen, as it were. And we reflect on what is Jesus saying in this, and particularly, what is Jesus saying to me in my life right now? When I look at these 2 characters and I look at the way Jesus responds to them. So discursive prayer is a pondering, very often a chewing of the scripture text. It's a sitting before an icon or a crucifix and asking, what is Jesus saying to me in our crucifix at church as I look upon it on this particular day? It could be sacred reading, the readings of the church fathers, or a book of spirituality. We think of today of somebody like Father Ron Rolheiser and his works, reading or simple meditation from them and reflecting on how God is speaking to me through that text. Interestingly, with technology today, even our podcast can be an entryway to prayer. And of course, some apps, the Hollow app, can introduce us to a way of discursive prayer. So thought, imagination, emotions are all a part of that meditative prayer. Now, contemplation. Contemplation, sisters and brothers, is the gift. It's nothing that we do. The most that we can do for contemplation is dispose our minds and our hearts and our wills to be ready for God to come to us. This is the moments when the Spirit of God comes to us and, as it were, dwells in us in a particular way. Now, the Spirit dwells in us because of baptism all the time, never without a change. What happens in contemplation is our awareness of that dwelling is elevated. It's an opening into our relationship that we're able to experience for a moment. The realities of contemplation is the minute we notice that we have received the gift of contemplation, we're no longer in it. We are out of it reflecting back. So it's the matter of being in that moment where God has gifted us with a special presence, one to another in this relationship. How do we get there? By a life of good vocal prayer, by a life of meditative prayer, so much so that we're ready to be disposed for God to come to us. And when He does, sisters and brothers, we indeed will be renewed.
Please like, subscribe, and comment below. God bless you.